All right, today we're diving into this really fascinating story from the book of 2 Kings. It's all about a remarkable woman, wealthy, influential, who offers some serious help with absolutely no strings attached. And in doing so, she gets a gift that she had probably given up on ever hoping for.
And this story really gets at a question that feels, well, just as real today as it did thousands of years ago. What actually happens when we give without expecting anything back? As we're about to see, the answer can be incredibly profound and, frankly, completely unexpected.
Okay, so before we jump in, let's get our bearings. We are in the 9th century BC, smack in the middle of the prophet Elisha's ministry in the northern kingdom of Israel. Our story takes place in a village called Shunammite, right in the fertile Jezreel Valley. Now, this was a major travel route, so you can imagine offering a place to stay wasn't just a nice thing to do, it was pretty strategic.
So here's where it gets interesting. The story doesn't actually kick off with the famous prophet. No, it starts with our central character. And we don't even get her name, just this very specific, very important title. The text calls her a great woman. Now, in the original Hebrew, Gedola isn't about her being morally superior or anything like that. It's a term for someone of high social standing. She's got wealth, she's got influence. On paper, it looks like she has it all. And right away, we get a sense of who she is. The text says she constrained Elisha to eat. This isn't like, oh, would you care for some bread? No, this was assertive, proactive hospitality. It tells us immediately that her greatness isn't just about her status, it's about her actions.
And this first act of kindness, it wasn't just a one-and-done deal, not at all. It quickly grows into something way more intentional, something permanent.
And you got to hear her reasoning, because this part is absolutely key. She says to her husband, I perceive that this is a holy man of God. This is pure spiritual insight. Think about that. She recognizes who he is before any big miracle, before there's anything in it for her. She's acting out of who she sees him to be, not what he can do for her.
So what does she do with this insight? She talks her husband into building a small room for him on the roof. And just look at what she puts in it. A bed, a table, a stool, and a candlestick. It's not fancy, it's practical. It's so thoughtful, right? She's thinking about his basic needs: rest, food, a place to work, even light. She is literally making room for God's prophet in her home.
Well, as you can imagine, this kind of consistent generosity does not go unnoticed. Elisha has been staying there for a while, and he feels like he has to do something to repay her kindness. And this leads to a real turning point in the story.
So Elisha decides he has to repay her, and he offers her the biggest favor he can possibly think of: political pull. He asks if she wants him to put in a good word with the king or the head of the army. But her answer is just stunning. She says, I dwell among my own people. She's basically saying, thanks, but no thanks. I'm good. I belong here with my people. She isn't looking for power or status. She is completely, totally content.
I mean, can you imagine? Her answer just leaves Elisha completely stumped. He's desperate to do something for her, but what do you give the woman who has everything and wants for nothing? It's his servant Gehazi who finally shines a light on a deep, unspoken pain in her life.
But Elisha is determined. He turns to his servant Gehazi, and he's like, okay, seriously, what can we do for her? There has to be something.
And it's Gehazi, the servant, who has the key insight. He points out the one thing she would never ask for. She has no child and her husband is old. You have to understand, in that culture, this was more than just a personal sadness. It was a huge social vulnerability. This was the one hidden ache in her otherwise perfect-looking life.
And just like that, with that one observation, the whole story pivots. We go from talking about hospitality and contentment to the realm of the miraculous. A promise that could change absolutely everything.
So Elisha calls her over, and as she's just standing there in the doorway, he drops this bombshell of a prophecy. About this time next year, you will hold a son in your arms. This isn't some vague, someday hope. It's a direct promise with a deadline.
And her reaction? Oh, it's just so real, so painfully human. She basically begs him, no, my lord, please don't lie to me. It's not just shock, it's fear. It's like you can almost feel how she spent years guarding her heart against this exact hope, and having it spoken out loud is almost too much to bear.
But the promise comes true. The text says it so simply. It's beautiful. The woman conceived and had a son, right on schedule, exactly when Elisha had said she would.
So when you step back and look at the whole arc, it's just this incredible domino effect, right? Her selfless generosity opened up a space.
Her contentment showed her heart wasn't looking for a reward, and that allowed her deepest unspoken need to be seen and met, not with a political favor she didn't want, but with the one gift she couldn't possibly get for herself: new life.
But here's the thing. The story doesn't actually end there with the baby's birth. This miracle child is actually just setting the stage for an even more dramatic event down the road, one which begs an even bigger question about God's power. But you know what? That's a story for another day.